6 health and fitness tests that you need to pass if you're a man over 40. Sean here from Fit Fusion Brotherhood, rocking the Canada gear today, supporting them in hockey in the Olympics. Looking dominant so far, but usually when they look dominant, something bad happens. So hopefully I won't be singing a different tune next week. But let's get into the video today. We're going to talk about 6 tests that you should pass if you're over the age of 40. I put together a similar video a while back with 10 fitness challenges that are a little bit more ambitious. I didn't really expect everyone to pass anyway, but just kind of see where you're at benchmark wise. This video, these are things that are going to play a role when it comes to your future health and longevity. So when I'm working with a client, I love to see them be able to pass all of these tests. The first 2 are just diagnostic, and then the next 4 will be more exercise and mobility related. And the good news is you can try these at home, you can do them anywhere, and they are a great predictor for your future health and longevity. And of course, the older you are, the more important these tests are. So if you're a very healthy man over the age of 40 working out and living a healthy lifestyle, these are going to be pretty easy for you. But if you're just the average sedentary guy, or maybe you're trying to get into fitness or just really concerned with your health, these are some great tests to look at. Okay, so let's get into it. Number 1 is your resting heart rate. We know that heart failure, heart disease in general, is the leading killer of men. And one of the ways to assess where you're at heart health-wise is your resting heart rate. And you can do this very easily. You can get an Apple Watch or a Fitbit, or even just do your own pulse. And first thing in the morning is typically when I do it. Don't do it when you're sleeping because the heart rate drops a little bit lower. But you want to see where you're at here. The score that I like to see when it comes to resting heart rate, anything under 60. So 50 to 60 would be ideal. 60 to 70 is also okay. Anything over 70, start having some of those alarm bells. Number 2, blood pressure. For the exact same reason as I said, number 1, heart health is super important, and blood pressure, high blood pressure, is known as the silent killer. So I'm going to put together or show you what where you should be at blood pressure wise, and you can kind of put yourself up against these measurements and see where you're at. So ideally, you want to be able to have a healthy blood pressure without taking medication. This is going to be a very good indicator of where you're at heart health wise. And you can either go to the drugstore to get it done. You can buy your own on Amazon. They're relatively cheap and they're super effective anyway. And of course, you could always go to your doctor. But I recommend you actually getting one for yourself and taking your blood pressure every morning. It really is a very, very important tool because of the high rate of heart disease in men. And the older you get, the more significant this is going to be. Okay, so let's talk about some of the fitness tests here, the mobility tests. The next one is going to be 10 squats. And this one seems very simple. If you're already working out, this is not going to be a big problem. What I'm looking for here is to sit down either on a chair or on the couch, hands up or hands off the legs, and just stand up and sit down 10 times. If you can do that, you pass the test. So very simple here. As you age, you're going to lose strength, you're going to lose muscle, and you want to try to keep as much of that as possible and prevent your body from losing muscle. So if you're struggling to stand up off the couch, once again, that's going to be an immediate red flag. So you should be able to sit down on the couch or the chair and stand up without using your hands and without using momentum 10 times. Next one's going to get a little bit more challenging, but still something that I expect most guys to be able to do. This is an exercise that I program all the time. So this is called the kneel to stand. Same reason, I want to be able to make sure that if you're on the ground, you're able to get up safely and effectively. The kneel to stand is exactly what it sounds like. You're going to get into a kneeling position, hips locked, and then you're actually just going to stand right up. And that's it. And if you can do this 10 times body weight, you pass the test. But frankly, you should be able to do this at least once. If you can't do this once without using your hands, then that's going to be one of those telltale signs that your mobility is kind of struggling. And as you get older, it's only going to get worse. So definitely red flags if you're not able to do this. Now, I know a lot of guys might feel knee pain or discomfort when they do this movement, which obviously isn't ideal, but that's fine. The test is to be able to see if you can actually do this. And like I said, 10 reps is what we're looking for. No hands, no assistance, no momentum, just good form. Next one, also very similar here, but there's a lot more flexibility in which you can actually do this. And this is called just the floor to rise test. So you're going to lay down on the floor on your back, and all you have to do is stand up without using your hands. So no hands for support. Start off in a position where you're laying down on your back and your arms are on the ground. Lift up your arms and just stand up. There's no right or wrong way to do it. If you can get into standing position for 1 rep, you pass this test, because we know there's such a strong and scary correlation when it comes to breaking bones, especially with the hips after a fall, and mortality rates and life expectancy. So first off, we want to make sure that never happens. But if you do happen to fall down or slip, that you can actually get up without any sort of assistance. So once again, this one, you're not using your hands. You're just on the ground and you're using your body to be able to get you up into that position. And then the final one here, this is probably going to be the toughest one strength-wise. It's the dead hang test. So believe it or not, there is a very strong correlation between grip strength and mortality, meaning the stronger your grip strength is, the longer you tend to live. And one of the best tests to assess this is the dead hang. So the dead hang, all you're going to do is find some sort of bar. You can probably find this at your local park if you're not at the gym, and just hold on to it with your feet up in the air. You don't do anything. You just hold on to that bar. Your goal should be 1 minute. Now, I know for a fact, working with a bunch of guys, that 1 minute is going to be tough for a lot of guys. Okay, so this is what I would like to see. Anything over a minute would be great, but I would set my minimum time, whether it's pass or fail, to be about 30 seconds. So if you're not working out, you should still be able to do this for 30 seconds. If you are currently active, you should be able to do this for more than a minute. So all of these things are very strongly correlated with your health, with your longevity, and with your future self. So if you're a guy in your 40s, you should definitely be able to do most, if not all of these. And then the older you get, the more important these numbers are. Just a reminder, this isn't necessarily like a fitness challenge. These are more diagnostic tests that you can look at to see where you're at. The good news is a lot of these can be improved with healthy interventions, so it's never too late. Don't panic if you're feeling like you're struggling, but start today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do like videos like this, do us a huge favor, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.